We're continuing the conversion of the AltezzaLink ECU to the ZZW30 chassis. In the first video, we turned off the electronic throttle for the Altezza, making this configuration suitable for a cable throttle. This was done underneath these settings right here, and you can see that the e-throttle mode is now off. The next step is to go to the idle speed control and modify the idle speed control setup so that it works with a 1ZZ or 2ZZ IACV valve, idle air control valve. So we go in the idle speed control setup. We leave this idle ignition control the way it is. We leave the mode as open loop. The first thing we want to change is the actuator type. For the Altezza, it is set as e-throttle. We want to change it to solenoid. This is the correct setting for a 1ZZ or 2ZZ. When we make this change, we have a number of other parameters that come up. So the actuator type has been set to solenoid. We leave the voltage compensation off. We are going to set the output to auxiliary 2. So previously, auxiliary 2 was labeled for the VVT on the exhaust side. We're going to repurpose it for the idle air control valve. Okay, so that is done. We put the auxiliary 2 test to off. Auxiliary 2 active state is low. The PWM frequency we change to match what we see in our 2ZZ base map. We're going to set it to 250 Hertz. The speed lockout source stays the same. The speed lockout is something we can tune. It can be 2 kilometers per hour or 3 kilometers per hour, does not really matter. The APS, TPS lockout is also something that can be fine-tuned. It's less than 1% normally. And the RPM lockout speed, same thing, can be 400, 500. We can come back to these later and tune them all, or we can make some changes now to match the 2ZZ map that we have. We change the speed lockout to 3 kilometers per hour. We change the lockout to 0.3%. We change the RPM lockout to 400 RPM. And the map lockout we increase a little bit to 65 kilopascals. And these values all match the 2ZZ base map, which we don't know exactly how good it is, but we're just gonna go with those for now, and we can fine-tune those later. So now we've done the idle speed control setup. We're gonna save this file, increasing the version number. One of the annoying things about the Link software is it always wants to use the same home directory. So we rename this file so that we can keep track of it, and we add a little explanation note, which is ISC setup. So there we have the settings saved, and this completes the ISC setup. And the next video in the series will look at the other parameters in the idle speed control. Thanks for watching.